see how everybody know where home is beside us? And nobody takes time to think about that. Nobody takes time to consider who we are. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Nobody considers this thing. And yet, we walk day by day like everything cool. We cool with being in this situation. We're the only people on earth who don't know who we are. Only people. But guess what though? Today you're going to learn who you is, and you're going to learn what your heritage is. Watch this. I'm going to show you that everything about you is in here. Everything about your history is in here. Everything about your future is in here. And everything about what's going on today with you is in this book. So our people feel because they took chains off of us, guess what? Mentally, we are still prisoners. We are still captives. Because let me tell you, if I want to go to a trip to, let's just say Africa, which some people consider the homeland, correct? Can you just leave here tomorrow without permission? So if you are free, how could you just not get up and leave?
How you doing, Uncle?
How you doing, my brother? Fam, come here, bro. So I'm talking to my man. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Do you feel that we free or we in captivity today? In captivity. So he said free, you said captivity. Why do you say captivity?
Because of the white privilege that's in plain sight that you can't see. Because of the food that we eat, how it's illegal in other countries, but it's legal here.
Like you, man. You're a sharp dude. My man. Hey, say that to Mike. They need to hear that too. Repeat that.
Because of the white privilege that's shown in our faces in plain sight. You know, if you pull over a white lady, they probably gonna ask her for a registration. You pull over a black man, they probably gonna get aggressive with him. And also the bad foods that's legal here but banned in other places like Canada.
Oh man, you all right. So we're going to read this scripture. So he said free, and you bring up some heavy points about why we still in captivity. That if the police pull us over, they're aggressive. With somebody else, an older white lady, they usually let her go. Friendly conversation. Foods, that's key. The foods here, they make us eat. They don't even eat in other countries. So watch this.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day our captivity.
Read that again.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
So the Bible said, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. So you was on point with that. Said we are yet this day in our captivity, because a lot of people think since we don't have yokes of iron around our neck no more, we free to do anything we want. But I just gave them an example. If we want to go to Africa, do you believe Africa is the homeland? Okay, we'll get clarity on that. Said, do we need permission to go out of the country if we want to leave? Don't you know what is a passport for?
Permission to get out of the country.
Permission to get out of the country. Right. So guess what? That means we still have to go to our oppressors for things. Watch this, keep reading.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach.
He said God scattered us for a reproach. Tell me this. Why anywhere you go in the world, you can find black people, but we don't know where to go home to? Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Because there's a reason why we're going through all these things. Because you bring up some heavy points, which is actually true. But there's a reason for all this. We're going to go back to Baruch, so you should have held it. Watch this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So what we about to show you that this Bible, you ever really read this book? Nah, because we always see an old white man with a beard in there touching a finger of some naked baby, right? And it became a fairy tale to us. You agree, bro? It's been always a fairy tale. But what we didn't ever learn, this is about all of our people. This is all black history. Everything about us today and yesterday is in this book. To even the reason why our people is going through the conditions we're in today. Everything. And I didn't believe it until somebody had to teach it to me. Watch this again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So from one end of the earth even to the other, God said that he's going to scatter our people. Why do you think that happened? What's your name, though, bro? What's your name, by the way? Sean. What's your name? Tay. Sean and Tay. So why do you think we've been scattered from one end of the earth to the other? And you already said we in captivity. So even our black people that's in China, are they free there? Do they get to do whatever they want?
They may be a little bit more free.
Right, they get spit on every day.
Yeah,
they call them monkeys. Yeah, so if you go to Australia, do you think black people are living lavish there? Are they free?
No, it's racist over there too.
Iraq?
I'm not really sure.
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem for sure.
They living free over there? Are black people?
No, I said that they not living free.
Okay, so everywhere we go, why do you think our people going through it? No matter, he said he gonna scatter us from one end of the earth to the other, and yet you already verified we going through hell everywhere, right? Read that again give me verse 15 after this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
He said, so when you get to these other lands where you scattered, he said you'll worship other gods that you or your fathers never known. And this going to even get specific. Now, Moses wrote this thousands of years ago. He said, but you're going to worship gods when you get to these other lands that me or your fathers never knew.
Right.
He said either wood or stone. What do you think that wood is? We're going to worship wood. What do you think that we worship that's wood today? Tay, what you think?
We worship as wood.
What we worship that's wood today? Sean, right? Where do people go when they do an altar call? You ever heard of an altar call? Okay, altar call, in Sunday service church, they come to the front of the church, they get on their knees, and it's usually a cross with a white dead man behind it. That's wood, made by wood, is that wooden cross. Our people bow down to, right? What do you think the stone is? Say, are we going to either worship wood or stone? Nah, the cobblestone. You ever heard of cobblestone? Muslims, they got to make a hajj every year to Mecca to bow down to the stone. That's the tradition that the Muslims have. So he said you'll worship either wood or stone. Christianity or Muslims, the two biggest religions our people are in today. You agree? All right, read that again.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64.
So now you can understand it when you read it and picture what our people is going through. I'm going to show you everything in this book is about you and your peoples. Watch this.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
So, as you know, we've been scattered among all people. So when they say all people, why do you think they say that? You think all people could be saved? They said we're going to be scattered among all people. Why? Because I mentioned black people in Australia, right? Black people in China, Iraq. That means we amongst all nations, right? And we serving these other gods, either Christianity or Muslim, right? Amongst all people. Why do you think this is happening to us? Why do you think we've been scattered? Why do you think God has an issue with us right now? I'm going to show you. You ain't even got the answer. I'm going to give you the answers right now. 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So, Tay, you with me? I need you to focus, Tay. You safe here. Nobody coming after you. It said, therefore, if we do not hearken to the voice of the Lord our God. The word hearken is synonymous for hear. If we don't want to hear the words of God, what happens to us?
To observe and to do all his commandments.
Some of his commandments.
To observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So he said, if you don't want to hear or observe the commandments, remember our commandments, God gave our people a heritage from the beginning.
Right.
The commandments have always been black heritage. If I ask you our heritage today, what is it? What do black heritage mean to you? Is it soul food? The waste of a pig and the crops that they didn't want, that became our heritage? Is the way we dress our heritage today, do you believe we dressed like that before we got put on them ships and brought over here? So this is what happened. It's been a time that our people don't even want to hear. Like you said, you never even had to open this book because you always thought it was about other people. You couldn't see yourself in it. So our people never learned who they was from the beginning. Right now, you can't tell me where you come from. If we want to go home, where do we go?
To your mama house, man.
To your mama house. You see how? So if you ask a Chinese man where his home is, what he say? A German. You see how everybody know where home is beside us? And nobody takes time to think about that. Nobody takes time to consider who we are. Give me Jeremiah 17:4. Nobody considers this thing. And yet, we walk day by day like everything cool. We cool with being in this situation. We're the only people on earth who don't know who we are. Only people. But guess what, though? Today, you're going to learn who you is, and you're going to learn what your heritage is. Watch this.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage.
So it's going to come a time, God even told Jeremiah, he said, even you going to discontinue from your heritage. Just like he did, you did, he did, we all did. It was a time we forgot who we were. We discontinued to who we were supposed to be from the beginning. God created you to be a God on the earth from the beginning. That's because we kept our heritage, which the laws of God is, which he said that we ain't going to hear him anymore. Read.
Discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
He said because we discontinue from our heritage, we're going to have to serve our enemies in a land where we know not. Just like we were scattered everywhere we at, we got to serve our enemies. You notice that? In a land where we know not. Because when we got here, we didn't know where the hell we was at. We got off a boat and we just was in a place with a different language. And we had to serve the people that brought us here. You know about our histories. We came here on ships. You know about that, right? You know that's in the Bible?
I didn't know about the passage in the Bible.
So watch this. I'm going to show you that everything about you is in here. Everything about your history is in here. Everything about your future is in here. And everything about what's going on today with you is in this book. Give verse 68, 28:68. So it started in verse 15. It said, because we didn't want to hearken to the voice of the Lord God to do his commandments, all these curses going to happen to us. So after 15 to verse 68, everything happened in the hood. I can just keep reading, you will see everything clear. But for time's sake, watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said the Lord will bring you into Egypt again. Why do you think he said Egypt again? You know anything about Egypt? When they used to rule the earth? You know anything about Moses being in Egypt? You heard of Moses, right? What did he do in Egypt? What was the big thing that he did? He came back to get his what? You got a dollar bill on you? You got a dollar bill? If you look on the back of a dollar bill, if you got one, pull it out. I'm going to show you something. Back of a dollar bill. See? See that pyramid right there? Why do you think that's on your dollar? You think they just did that by coincidence? Watch this. Read it again. Come on, stay with me.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He said he's going to bring us into Egypt again. They put a pyramid, which you know Egypt is known for, correct? He said he's going to bring you to Egypt again. How are you going to bring us here?
With ships.
With what?
with ships.
But this Egypt, we're going to be here by transportation of ships, like you said, right? So watch this, hold that. I'm going to show you exactly what Egypt means for clarity. Now you go to Exodus. He said, I'm going to bring you to Egypt again. But this time, we going by ships. By ships. So you said we got to America by ships. It's a coincidence to put a pyramid on the dollar that you hold every day, that you really have no idea what it's there for, right?
Right.
It's letting you know that you're still in Egypt.
Right.
You still in Egypt, and they give you a reminder every day. Don't forget who you is, nigga. You still in Egypt. And what we do in Egypt? Come on.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of what?
Out of the house of bondage.
What's another name for bondage? Another word for bondage. What you say, Tay?
Bondage, slavery.
Slavery. Agree? So read that again, and when he say bondage, think of slavery. Watch this.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
At a house of slavery, because we built a lot of those great cities in Egypt. We built some of them pyramids in Egypt. We was known in Egypt for doing feudal work. We was working our asses off in Egypt. So we remembered that. So when Moses had explained to him in Deuteronomy, he couldn't say America wasn't a such thing. So he had to make it plain to them. You'll go back to Egypt again. In other words, we're going back into slavery again. How we get in there?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Well, this time we're going back into slavery with ships. As you can see on our side. How did we get here? We got here by ships, and watch this.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
He said everything that I'm telling you gonna happen, it's gonna happen to y'all. This why blacks is in this condition today. Hispanics in this condition today. He said everything I'm telling y'all, it's gonna come true. Why? Because it's gonna become a day our people don't care about God anymore. It's going to be a day that you'll lose your heritage, as the Bible said. Right. He said these things are going to happen. The way I'm telling you, it's going to happen. That's why when I tell you today, where you from? I don't know. My mama house. What's your last name? Is that really your last name? Who gave you that name? I'm going to tell you. He about to show you. Watch this. Read.
And there ye should be sold.
What you going to be?
And you shall be sold.
You shall be sold. This is how we got our last name. On the auction blocks. Sold to our enemies. Where the auction block at? We was on them ships and when we got off, we was sold. Here we go. As you can see, sold to our enemies on the auction block. What's your last name? Hey, how you doing, fam? Hey, I'm telling you, our people gotta know this. They don't even know how real this is. So you said your last name was what? Mari. Mari? Martin. So you were sold, obviously, to Mr. Martin in West Virginia, probably. Maybe Mr. Martin in Ohio, who knows? But this is how we got our names established.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is